Hey guys, Dan Heilman back with another video. Today we're going to be talking about what we can expect coming in the future. Is alt season officially here? What kind of indicators I look at when I'm looking to take profits, things like that. Some strong altcoins that are showing some very good performance and what to expect in the future. So let's go. Very first thing, we've been smashing new all-time highs for Bitcoin for a while now. We'll start with Bitcoin here. Basically, we started this bull flag right here. We were trading within this channel. This is the 24-minute chart. So this is just like the last, couple days here of performance. And we were struggling to get to the bottom of it, which I was like, all right, looks like we're going to break out. I positioned myself in altcoins and made some very nice trades on leverage, short-term trades, very short-term trades. And then we broke out of this and we started another bull flag. We kind of had a fake out above it, looking like we were going to get out. And then we came back into it and then we broke out and boom, we hit a high of 123,200, about 123,237. Now we are printing another bull flag. However, we have strong sell volume and we're struggling to hold the bottom of this bull flag. Did I say bear flag? Bull flag. And if we lose this, I have a feeling we're going to come down to fill up this CME gap. Now, if you don't know what a CME gap is, they have Bitcoin CME futures. Now, this is not open on Saturday, Sunday. It's open Monday through Friday. So this is what creates gaps, right? So on Thursday, and then the open on Friday, there was a gap. Oh, it was actually from Thursday to Friday was the gap. So it closes at night and it's open during the day. So this one opened and we had a big gap. We have kind of this like shooting star daily right now, which to me looks like we're going to come back down here and fill this gap. Now, we never have to fill these gaps and we don't have to fill the gaps fully, but for context, the gap is at 114,370 to about 115,635. We've already filled a small portion of it. If I go to like the hourly, you can see this is the gap that was created. We did fill a small portion of the top of the gap and then we moved back up. So we could easily come back down and fill that from the price we're at right now. That is about a 5.7% drop. This would potentially be a bigger drop for some altcoins, not all altcoins. However, Bitcoin dominance has actually been dropping for a couple days now. So is altcoin season officially fully here? I'm not quite sure. I have a couple scenarios, but see here in May 2025, it looked like we were going to see an alt season, and then they said, just kidding, and we came back into Bitcoin season. Basically, what this altcoin season indicator does is it says how many altcoins are outperforming Bitcoin. You can change how many days you're looking at it, right? So if you want it to be a little bit more reactive, you can see if you go to 30 days, it looks like we've had a couple. If you go to 90 days, this would be like a sustained 3-month altcoin season. The last time we saw that was in the end of last year, right after the election. So, and this makes sense, right? Because this is a little bit of a lagging indicator. So you don't want to wait for altcoin season and then purchase all your altcoins. If you're looking to get into some big gains for altcoin season, you want to position yourself either, a week ago, 2 weeks ago, or right now as we're leaving Bitcoin season. Now, there is the potential for a fake out like we saw right here. All right, where was I? I had to go make sure the cats were eating their food. If we could see a potential for some sort of a fake out, something like this. This is kind of like a little baby mini alt season where some alts are going to see some runs. I believe this was right after the low, right? So I think that was, right after April was about the low. And then May, we saw this big pump. If we go look at the total market cap, you'll see this was our bottom, and then this is kind of the pump here that we're talking about. If you look at like total 3 and others, you can see a little bit better. So these are the altcoin pumps. You can see right here, we had this big move for the whole market, moved about 62%, which is quite large. And others has broken out of this. So are we going to see right now the alt season that's going to be up only? Probably not. But here's kind of my 2 scenarios that I see. Scenario 1 for altcoins is we are coming up and see a very big move. And this is how I'm going to be taking profits. If you go to stable coin dominance, there is basically this trend line that we've been respecting for quite some time. And you'll see we kind of touched this trend line twice, right? So this was on December 4th, which would have been a great time to take some profits again. So when this stablecoin dominance is going up, that means people are selling their cryptocurrencies and moving into stables because they think maybe there's some risk of, cryptocurrencies going back down. And then again, in January 20th, the day Trump took office, was another great day to sell. I wish in hindsight that I would have sold all my cryptocurrency literally the day he took office. And then, as you see here, you could have just bought back in about April 7th and you would have been freaking killing it. So right now we are moving down, moving down. I'm going to take maybe about 30% of my profits on most of my coins when we hit this trend line one more time. However, I do think we can break down from this line. Now, we have not historically broken down from this line ever, but if we're going to see a very big move in market cap, again, if we see something like total moving all the way up to one of these lines here, let me go to logarithmic here. You can see we've been kind of making this narrowing, raising wedge here, this narrowing wedge, and this is usually a bearish pattern. So I think we're going to be coming up here quite quickly towards the end of this year. I think we're going to be hitting in this area, maybe even hit about 10 trillion total market cap. And then I have a feeling we're going to be coming back down to the bottom of this. We could even potentially break out of this if we have a really bad bear market. Now, what do I think would cause that? I think maybe treasury companies going under, Bitcoin going back to, I don't know, 70K. We could see Bitcoin go all the way up to 200, even 300K, and then go all the way back to 70K. We would see a lot of, once we get below 100, we might start to see treasury companies going under, and then that could be the final push down to like 70K. Now, that's kind of my base case scenario of what I could see potentially happening. So that's what I'm kind of figuring out here. Which way is it going to be? You always have to kind of, when you're doing any sort of trading, investing, you always have to have, two scenarios at least and be prepared for those scenarios. So that's what I'm going to do here. I have my altcoin still. And again, I'm going to be getting out once this trend line for stable coins comes down to this lower. I'm not going to get out of everything. I'm not going to be selling, 100% of everything, because I still think our target is going to be, if I go show my logarithmic chart here, I still think my target for Bitcoin is about 218K. And I think that's going to be roughly, October 1st or something like that. And usually what happens is once you see Bitcoin go up to the top, and it starts hanging out there, you'll see money usually rotating into altcoins. Now, that's when you'll see the very large pumps for altcoins. So you'll still, obviously, if Bitcoin goes from right here, 120 to 218, altcoins are going to go up a lot, right? That's just obviously going to happen. But once you start seeing it top out, at least historically, 2021, 2017, 18, you're going to start seeing altcoins doing extremely large moves. And that's kind of where I'm going to be trying to get out of it. So by the end of this year, I'm planning to sell all of my altcoins. I will keep some of my Bitcoin and maybe some of my Litecoin in cold storage, because those are kind of hard assets that have, a very limited supply. And I really want to see how this Litecoin ETF goes. I'm expecting some big things to happen to Litecoin. So that's kind of how I'm expecting to play this, right? So again, stablecoin dominance. I'm going to sell some here. I'm going to hope this breaks down and we get some massive super cycle, which could definitely happen. Again, I still think the 4-year cycles are going to happen. I think those are intact. Now, another thing we need to watch for, I'm out of breath from going up the stairs after feeding the cats. I ran up the stairs. After we see this ETH dominance, if you're really waiting for altcoin season, you want to see this ETH Bitcoin pair. You want to see this staying above the bull market support band, which is this right here. If we clean this up a little bit and I go to the clean chart, you can see here, we are staying above it. We've even had a weekly close now above it. Did have a little bit of a higher wick on the top side, but we're still above it on this next weekly close. Again, I'm thinking the Bitcoin all-time high is going to be about here. So I'm thinking this is going to go up quite heavily. I see a lot of whales right now moving Bitcoin. I have a feeling they're going to try to dump the price even harder. Yeah, look at that. Right on cue. You can see moving a bunch of Bitcoin. I just got 2 notifications and now we're breaking down from this channel. A lot of this is done by market makers who move the price intentionally to liquidate longs. I'm sure there's a lot of longs right now piling up. So if I go to liquidation heat map, I'm sure there's a crap ton of longs below because people are super bullish. They're trying to get in those late longs. Oh yeah, look at it all. So I guarantee you, they're going to dump it down to at least 118,600. 118,600 is where that's down here. And I think they're just going to try to fill the CME gap while they're down there. That's my prediction here. Hopefully I can get this video posted quickly so people can kind of do that, because it looks like the move is happening right now. Yeah. So they're going to fill this right now, guaranteed, in my opinion. Oh yeah, lots of liquidity down there. So I'm out of leverage trades right now, and I'm kind of waiting for this to come down, and then I'm going to position myself in some of these altcoins. Again, now let's look at the big winners for altcoins and what we've seen so far. So H bar has been just massive. H bar has just been an absolute rocket ship. I made a very nice trade with H bar on Bitunix. If you want to try Bitunix, that's what I use for leverage trading. It's a great exchange. So I'll kind of just show you some of my trades that I have here. If I go to trade history, you can see here's I have a bunch of little tiny baby losses just because I've been trying to open positions, and then if they turn the wrong way, I just close them right away. But I had a very nice trade history, position history. Is that what I'm looking for? Yeah, position history. Here we go. This is better. Okay, so I had a nice little I shorted Pump Fund. That was a little nice one here. Again, affiliate link below if you want to try Bitunix. Amazing exchange. It's non-KYC if you want private spot buys, but you can also leverage trade. Legal in America, legal everywhere. Had a nice little $1,000 H bar trade. I had a $2,000 H bar trades. I had a couple small $100 trades, 250, 150. Oh, it won't. I can't go down. I can't go down far enough. Okay, if I go to, I had a really nice Pengu trade. I wanted to show you guys. It was pretty sweet. I think it was like 7-8 grand. So let's see here. So if we go to Pengu, I rode this one all the way up. I traded it up and down actually quite nice. I'm quite proud of myself on this one. So you can see I was buying here, pull back, buy, sell top, buy, sell, 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 buy at the pullback, and then sell right there. And if I go to current only, my position history here. I had that's not right. Oh yeah, here we go. $7,000 trade. That was pretty sweet. Pretty stoked about that. So there you go. 7K, 20%. I had another $1,000 trade earlier, which is pretty sweet too. So I was pretty stoked about that. That was very nice for my portfolio. So that's been pretty nice. But yeah, anyway, so Pengu, H bar, amazing. Those were doing really good. And what was some other big runners? A lot of these. XRP has been a really big runner over the days. It's actually still holding up quite strong. Even with Bitcoin dumping, it's actually holding quite strong, which is good to see. We broke out of this triangle here and boom, we've just been ripping. So that's been quite nice. Solana is clearly completely unaware that we're in a bull market. Literally, Solana has no idea that we're in a bull market because it didn't do anything. Kronos has done some nice. This is the native exchange token for crypto.com. Sui, whenever it moves, it does big moves. Yesterday, it saw a freaking 14% move. Ethereum had some nice moves earlier, and it's kind of slowing down at the 0.618. So that one is not doing much. Stellar Lumens, another absolute rocket ship, 131% out of here. Fun fact, I've been buying XLM since back in 2017, and it was actually higher than the price right now. I have some that I bought up at about 50 cents here back in 2017. So fun fact there. But that one is seeing some very nice moves. SPX has been holding up and seeing some nice moves. Wild had some very nice moves in the beginning. You can't even see them on here, but this is actually quite a large move. This is, 30% with leverage. That was a quite nice little move. And Fartcoin just started moving yesterday. A couple days ago, moved up a little bit, so that's 33%. So there's some big movers. PopCat was actually doing pretty nice too. This one moved 50% out of there, but it was mostly H-bar and some of those that were doing quite well. So I caught some of those moves, not all of them. Sui, ETH, so very nice. They've been moving, and I think this is going to continue. But the only thing I'm worried about is some sort of a rejection. If we go back here to total market cap, you see we kind of wicked above into the new. We could definitely come back all the way down here, retest this. I don't think we have to do that, but that is definitely something that could happen. You can see right now, we pulled against it, and now we're pulling back quite hard because, as I just said, market makers are trying to liquidate users. There's a lot of selling here. Also, we had tariffs. So tariffs didn't affect the cryptocurrency market very much. So I think, that the market makers every time, Wintermute and all of them, they use these bad announcements like tariffs, etc., to dump the price, because then people don't understand that it's really market makers making these moves. And it's not like people aren't just selling all their Bitcoin because, Mexico has a tariff now. They're just not doing that. That's just literally not happening. So they just kind of use that as like a smokescreen to dump the price. And there's a lot of evidence to back that up. So I've also been trading a lot of these. Mara, CLSK, I just took profits on both of those with leverage. I have MicroStrategy finally broke out and made a higher high based on this one right here. So this is 3 higher highs now. I think we might see an all-time high for MicroStrategy. I wasn't sure we were going to, but yeah, that's pretty much what I want to talk about for the video. Silver is moving. You can see we might come back down and put in another low here from the Camel Finance indicator. I've been trading commodities, crypto-related stocks, and cryptocurrencies. So again, I think we'll see a pullback. I think altcoin season, I think definitely the lows are in for almost everything. So I don't think we're coming back to these April lows down here. I just don't think that's going to happen, right? I think we're going to come up here. Maybe we see a correction, and then maybe we'll see some big moves for a lot of these. Clearly leaders are leading, and it's kind of the same thing that happened before, right? So the original, the dinosaur coins as they're called, are moving first, right? So XRP, all of that. These are very old coins, XLM. These are moving first. These are also ISO compliant coins. So what's happening this week is Crypto Week in the US, and they're talking about different sorts of legislation and stuff. So I think that's why these ISO coins are pumping. One other thing is the Bitcoin FOMO Finder was at greed at the top just for a second. I posted it in my Discord. Feel free to join the Discord if you want to, but I posted this and I said, wow, I haven't seen this in a while. This was literally at 7 o'clock, so that was 4 hours ago, and then now it's right back to balance. So it goes by like current funding rates, etc., and it's basically Bitcoin, but a lot of the market, follows that. So keep an eye on that if you want to see if things are getting too overheated. I think we're due for a pullback on a lot of these. I'm going to try to, I've been using this Market Cipher B indicator a lot to trade. You're looking for basically a big pullback with a green dot below this line, a reset, and then another smaller one. You can see if you would have caught this on Stellar Lumens, that would, if you would have purchased right about here, that would have been, oops, why didn't it take it? Here we go. That would have been 121% move. So with leverage, that would have been insane. So that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for another reset now. I'm looking for a big, deep pullback on some of these. And then I'm going to be looking to get that little trigger wave happening. And then you can see we got red dots on the 4 hour on a lot of these, meaning they could pull back a lot. You see here, Litecoin, for example, it pulled back not even that much, 7-8% from this red dot. Again, this is kind of the opposite though. So a big pullback, a reset, and then a smaller pullback. So we could see a bigger move down, and then I'm going to try to enter some orders for a lot of these. I'm hoping we get a pullback. We may just continue a lockout rally. Honestly, that is always another possibility. We could just go up only for quite some time. So you gotta take all of those into effect on what you're doing, make an educated guess, and kind of have a a method to your madness, especially if you're going to try trading. So that's it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, hit the like, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment below. What are your high conviction altcoins that you are betting on, and how you guys doing? So happy Monday, and have a good day. Again, leverage links. If you want to leverage trade, there's affiliate links below. If you want to try the indicator, affiliate links below. If you want to try trading some of these crypto stocks, you can use BTCC. Again, affiliate link below. All the affiliate links help you guys out. They give you discounts on fees, etc., and they also help me out. It's the best way to support the channel. And have a great day, everyone, and a great week. See you guys.